Well, let's turn to the worsening flood crisis in Victoria, where tens of thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes. Entire towns remain cut off and acres of farmland has been destroyed. We're being told the emergency could stretch out for several weeks and have implications on next week's budget and, of course, the cost of living crisis. Mayor of Campaspe, Shire Council Chrissy joins me now from her car in Echuca in the state's north. Great to see you, Chrissy. Thanks for joining us. We know how busy you are. Can you give us an update on what the situation is right there tonight?
Well, for some people, they would have already seen the town of Rochester on the news. So, unfortunately, we lost Rochester. So, 700 to 900 homes have lost. So, a lot of people displaced. Lots of issues to come, obviously. So we're in recovery, I suppose, in Rochester now as the water's dropping. But unfortunately, the water is coming towards Echuca. And because the Murray River was so high, it's actually been like it's hit a wall. So that Campaspe River has actually gone and spread sideways because it couldn't get out into the Murray fast enough. So now we've got actual flooding coming down on the sides of the Campaspe, and like you say, it's gone through farmland. It's still coming down through the sides of the towns, and obviously the impacts within the actual township of Echuca as well. So, and obviously our nightmare to still come is that the Goulburn River has flooded up Shepparton and Marupna way, which people would have heard about, and that water is expected to hit the Murray, which then comes down and hits Echuca again in 2 days' time. So it's not over for us yet because the water levels are just so high.
And this is uncharted territory for many residents, isn't it?
It is. So the wharf has got a measure point on it. So this morning at 5 o'clock it was 94.2 and flood level is 94.4. And the predicted expectation now is that when the Murray comes through with the Goulburn water in it, it will be 95.9. So we're now talking a 1 in 1,000 flood.
It's crazy. What about the sandbagging?
So, the sandbagging is just, we have to thank our communities so much. They're going full out. So this morning, unfortunately, at 10 o'clock, we had to go out to the Echuca East and announce that that area could flood totally. So the engineers had worked all night and we're now going to build a 2.5 kilometre levee to protect the residential area and the town areas. So obviously we called on all our communities to go in and help fill the sandbags, and the Army and Northern Construction, one of our local construction firms, are actually building all the levees up. So we've got 2.5 Ks to cover in 48 hours before the water gets here.
Wow. That community spirit is inspiring, isn't it? And Chrissy, it's also important to remember that many residents in these areas, they're not just facing the prospect of losing their homes, but also their incomes. It's devastating for not just the region, but Australia as a whole.
Oh, for sure. This will wipe out all our businesses. So, Rochester lost all their businesses as well. So the whole lot is gone. It needs to be declared as a national disaster because seriously, it's not just what we're dealing with now. It's going to be dealing with the recovery as well. So, for us to be building a 2.5 kilometre levee is, it's a huge feat. Let's hope that it does work.
And what are you going to need over the next weeks and months to try and recover from this?
Well, obviously, we've got heaps of displaced people. We could, we know we've got between 700 and 900 people. Some people have gone and stayed with families, obviously, but up to nearly 900 homes in Rochester. And this at the moment, we're talking, maybe up to 1,000 homes here just in Echuca, let alone what else we might lose in infrastructure. So, all of these displaced people obviously aren't going to have homes. And, we all know what the building construction industry has been going through since COVID. We just can't get enough. So, it's just astronomical about where are we going to be able to house these people until we get housing replaced.
Chrissy Weller, really appreciate your time tonight. We know how busy you are. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.